such an asshole.
Well, we have a very friendly request. I'll read it here, but he's not requesting anything specific. He just wants me to do an original, I guess. I'd like to donate some money to you for helping me out way back in 2019. I realized that as much as I would have loved to become a doctor, I did not have the financial means to borrow the money needed for medical school. I also realized that I did not want to go through all the BS testing that is required to become a doctor. I'm much happier with my degree in computer science and future work as a software engineer. Once again, thank you, Aaron. Sincerely, Eric. We won't mention the last name. So I said, well, what public service announcement? Why? Like, oh no, whatever you want. Oh, okay. So there's one thing I wanted to talk about. Now, I'm no Republican strategist because I don't suck. Republicans are horrible. They're horrible at politics. And I have this spate of ideas that are quite apolitical that either party, any political party could use, and they'd actually do tangible good for society and probably gain more popularity, actually do something instead of, oh, we're going to give more money to the poor people. And it's in the title. It's like, what if we mandated high schools? Okay, hear me out. Sit down, everybody. Sit down. Is everyone in their sitting down chair? Good. Sit down. Think about, imagine a world. It would be perfect for who's the Florida governor? DeSantis. What if Ron, I think it's Ron DeSantis. What if he mandated, and the Republicans of the state house and Senate of Florida said, you must teach your high school students one employable skill before they leave. That is a contingency of high school graduation. Now, I think he also requires financial education, which that is a death knell to all public schools throughout the nation if you start teaching kids about finance, because they learn about taxes and they realize that you Democrats are just thieves, essentially. What? 40% of my money goes to pay for other people? What? But neither here nor there. What would happen if a governor, my governor, Ron DeSantis, somewhere, federal president says, we are going to mandate that you have these kids for 13 bleeping years. And this is not my observation. This is Stefan Molyneux's observation. He says, and I never thought about it that way. I just was blinded by hate and rage of the joke of K through 12 public schools. He says, think how stupid this is, how ludicrous it is. You have someone for 13 years and you can't teach them one employable skill. That now they are mandated to go to school for at least another 4 years before anyone consider hiring them. It's a joke. It's a racket. And it's proof positive that school is not used to educate you kids, to get you ready for the real world, anything like that. It's a babysitting operation first because your parents don't love you. And it's an indoctrination camp because the teachers Democrats want you to vote Democrat. And then also it's a channeling, grooming, priming of the pump for you to go and just destroy your financial future by forking over a fortune to the higher education system. That's it. That's all school really is. Because again, if you had someone for 13 years, holy cow, they should be an engineer. They should be able to do accounting. They should at least be on VOTEC programs. Remember those? Ooh, I don't like. Ooh, grody, an electrician. Who knows? Back in the day, you could go and work. But now you graduate from high school. So you're telling, let me understand just one more thing. So you're telling me after 13 years, these kids don't have any employable skills? Well, they're not geared to have employable skills. And I don't think you're going to get any flack from anyone if you were a governor. I'm going to go with governors because President Bernie Lomax, so no one's going to get that joke. We got President Bernie Lomax right now. Okay. He's not going to do anything. But a governor like say, okay, you must teach every child. No child left behind. Here's a new one. No child left unskilled. You will teach every child an employable skill. Like they have to have a declared major that has a job at the end of it. Like accounting, so they could do some basic bookkeeping. Whether that's trades, and you have to go find some real men and women to actually teach your children how to do real things instead of like immigrant the oppressions of the white males. That's getting tiring. I don't know, basic auto mechanics, computer program. I know you got, but you got to give them a skill. Like they come out like I can learn. I'm credentialed in networking, computer networking. I'm credentialed in computer repair and maintenance. It's just an idea I had. And you know what's sad is it's not like that's a crazy idea. I mean, to the public school administration and the public schools themselves, it's a crazy idea. Like, well, then we'd have to find talented, skilled people. I just want to teach them about history and reading because I'm so good at the English. Why can't you? Why not? Start them in the 8th grade, get them down a path. They may not use it, but then at least when they graduate from high school, they might stand a shot at finding a job, making money, not living at home, saving up enough money. Instead of graduating them with a liability, which is what you guys do. Let's just be honest, public school people. You graduate these children with a liability in the form of false expectations and hopes about what the real life is going to be. And then no ability to support themselves in the real world, which condemns them to go to college, which is an expensive proposition. And you glide that path, which about 8 out of 10 times leads to at least financial distress, if not outright financial ruin. Because none of you have the balls to tell these kids, don't major in things that don't have you tell them you lie. You lie. Follow your heart, money. What? You're going to save the world, helping out the women and the children and the minorities and the environment. Those poor kids go and they destroy their lives. If you don't believe me, if you would like to see the result of the public schools, may I show you how not to become a millennial? They followed their teacher's script to the hilt. Go get Mike Rowe, have him set up a program on a nationwide or statewide level. He'll help you out, right? And then these kids graduate and they got a skill instead of basically a condemnation to go and take on huge financial liabilities for a degree that's talentless. There's no use, no value, no worth. And then there wouldn't be a student loan crisis. They'd kind of work part-time or maybe full-time, go to school part-time. The labor shortage would be shored up. I know you public school people don't understand this because you're public school teachers and you have some of the lowest IQs based on major. But the supply of goods and services would go up and prices would come down, and thus the standards of living would increase. What's sad is I would even have to explain that to you economics teachers in high school. But I'm not speaking to the teachers in high school or teachers because you guys, you have an agenda. You're not competent. This goes against everything you're aiming for with your socialist political ideology. You're not part of the solution here. You have your fiefdom, you have your way of making money, and you, for the life of you, don't tell me well, maybe a single one of you do care about the children. You don't. You're only in it for yourself. So I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to, and let's be honest with the Democrats. You don't want to help out young people either, Democrat politicians. So the only one that's going to be receptive to this, you could be a Democrat that like kind of thinks independent, like, wait, yeah, this isn't a right-left issue. Republicans, hello? I know. If you can send the Lincoln logs down for a second, Republican strategist, if you could go get your wife, okay, Republican strategist, go find your wife. Ask her where the magnifying glass is, and you'll be like, what magnifying glass? The one she uses to find your puny little balls with. And maybe you guys can grab them when you pinch them. You can't grab them. That would indicate you'd have enough to grab. You gotta pinch them, and you nut sack up. And then you offer something like that isn't even that radical. Mandate, you must teach children an employable skill when they graduate from high school. Could even be working security or driving truck. CDL, anyone? Hello? Here's one that'll freak you out. Gunsmithing and cleaning. How would that work? Carpentry, maybe? I don't know. Carpentry really isn't a thing. That's all done by machines now. What? Anything, huh? Give them a shot at life. I know. So that's another thing of the many ideas that I have that will never come to fruition, but it's just an idea that I had. All right, any super chats here? Got a couple. Dami Dizzle, $2 weekend at Biden's. Yep. Yeah, but you're my age, Dami. You're my age. DJ Aftershock, $2. Computer science is an academic requirement for K through 12 state. Computer science, CS? Or is that community service? What's CS? Be strong, $2. Do you think all the cars will be electric soon? No. No. They might make all electric cars, but there's not the electric infrastructure. Did we build nuclear power plants? We didn't? Okay. We can make solar power and wind. No, we can't. It doesn't generate enough. Go watch the TED Talk guy who did the math on it. But my feelings are more important than us than having transportation. Komatsu is desperate for welders in the UK. They should move out of the UK. Why would you be welding in the UK? Those are just our pasty or white because it's always foggy and cloudy in the United Kingdom cousins. They're no better working than Americans. They're probably worse. They're Europeans. They're socialists. Oh, crumpets and tea and national health care. Oh my God, the Russians or the Germans are attacking again. America, come save us. No, not this time. Sorry. You put that Count Dankula guy in jail. Screw you. We fight tyrants, not support them. All right. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.